Hello my friends, welcome to Pro Strings. I'm Henriette and today is day 19. I am delighted to teach you the minuet today and perfect our bowing technique and our G scale further. So if you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel now. You are on the roll with your playing and you don't want to miss any new lessons as they come out. So let's start with your tuning notes. Here is your A. Let's warm up now with the long 2-octave G scale that we learned in the last lesson. Let me just remind you to change your finger pattern on the top 2 strings, so your finger pattern will be wide, wide, close, close. So the top note of the scale where we're going to stop is the 2nd finger on E, and after we've played that 2nd finger we will go down the scale again. As usual, we will be playing even notes, every note of the scale twice with long bows. So let's get in position and check your stance, your bow hold and your left hand position. And here we go after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. Now let's play the G arpeggio, and I'm hoping that you know this from memory, but if you don't know it yet, you can find it on page 36 in the book and letter A. Let's play the arpeggio with long bows too, but in an arpeggio we play each note only once, and then we'll play the whole arpeggio twice over. Here we go. A. to the G scale now, and we're going to add a different rhythm to it. I will show you. So we're going to go long, half, half. So in effect we're going to play each note of the scale 3 times. The first time it's a long and fast bow, and then the second and third note we'll play a half bow, up bow, and then another half bow, up bow, as you will have noticed. So long, half bow, stop the bow, and then continue in the same direction. So we'll play that on every single note of the scale, and that is in preparation to our bowing that we're going to need in the minuet. So we're practicing it first on the scale. 1, 2, 3. Well done. Let's take a look now at the Minuet number 1 on page 38 in Suzuki Book 1. And we're going to play the first 2 lines initially. The piece is written in the key of G major, as we came across in lesson 18. And I can tell that it is in G major because as its key signature, the piece has 1 sharp, and it finishes on the last note of the piece on a G. So we're using the finger pattern of the G scale, which we've played just now. We're also playing the bowing, as we've learned just now, because if you look at the first bar, we've got the same bow stroke as we've just practiced. So that is exactly the reason why we've practiced it on the scale, so that we're already fairly familiar with that bow stroke. I'll play you the first line now. See that the second and third note are 2 up bows, we will need to make the first note of this piece a long bow. Otherwise we can't fit the 2 up bows onto the bow at all. So if I'm using a short bow here, then I'm running out of bow, you see. So it is absolutely vital in this piece that you use a very long bow on the first note. And of course the same thing happens when we're playing bar 3, because it's the same bowing. Let's try that once again and try to make your first note a little bit longer. 2, 3. On that B, my bow goes at half the pace, because now I need to fit 2 beats on the same bow. I find it quite helpful if you keep using the whole bow for each crotchet. For instance, in bar 2, you go, then you know what you're doing. Every crotchet gets the whole bow, except those that have got 2 up bows. where you use half a bow for each of the crotchets. Now for line 2 we need 3 fingers on the string, so let's just test our fingers before we begin. As we've got our G major scale that we're doing here, I'm testing my second finger close to the first finger. And now I'll play you the second line. You'll find a dotted minim, so I'm playing that with the whole bow as well, so that our bow goes even slower than before because we're now fitting 3 counts on one bow. And you will have noticed that when I go to bar 5 I played the whole bow on the first note on the crotchet and then half bows for every quaver that follows. So let's do that again, bar 5, so the second line, and you will have noticed that if you've done it correctly, your quavers come at the upper half of the bow first, right here. Now I'm playing a whole bow. So this set of quavers that follows is at the lower half of the bow. So in line 3 we come across a number of new things, and you will really notice your progress that you've made here. First, in the second and fourth bars of line 3 you will notice the C sharp, and that means that we're going to place those second fingers in our old finger pattern again, so the one with the space between the first and second fingers. We have seen that in the key of G major there is normally not a C sharp, and you normally place your second finger here, but these C sharps here in your music are called accidentals, and they appear accidentally in the music. They're not part of the key signature, and the composer has just chosen those notes to make the music more interesting to listen to. So we as violinists have to adapt our fingers then. Now an accidental lasts until the bar line, and then it's back to the key signature again. So if you look at the second bar of line 3, so bar 10, you've got that C sharp where it has the figure 2 above it, and then you play your first finger, and then the next second finger that comes is also a C sharp, because that C sharp lasts until the bar line. So let me play line 3 for you. 1, 2, 3. That in the last bar of line 3 you get the option either an open E string or a fourth finger, and I suggest in this case that you play the open E string. Will you join in with me playing the third line? 1, 2, 3. That the third line has got all sorts of different notes in, and we're going to count it like that. So we're counting 3 beats in a bar. When you look at bar 9, the B is 1, 2, 3 is the E. Then the next bar goes 1, 2 and 3. Then the third bar of the third line is 1, 2, 3, and the fourth bar is 1 and 2 and 3. And I want you to gradually pick up how you count a piece as we go along, so that by the end of this course you know how to count a piece and you know what the letter names are, and that's just that little bit extra that you can gain from just spending a couple of minutes each lesson on those issues. For the fourth line, we're going to place 3 fingers on the E string. So let's just practice our fingers. So remember here we've got that low second finger. Now let's just play bar 13 and then I want you to stop. But I want you to leave your third finger on the string after we have played the last note of bar 13. So here's bar 13. And this is the finger that I want you to leave down. So shall we practice that again? And the reason why I wanted you to leave this finger down on the string is that it acts as a guide for where our fourth finger is going to go. Because the fourth finger in bar 14 is going to come on the E string, but a space away from the third finger. Now it doesn't really matter whether that third finger is here on the E string. In this case, we have last played it on the A string, so we might leave it there. It's still a space away. So now we're playing bar 14. And we can, since we finished on the third finger, we can repeat this bar and do the exact same thing again. And this is the tricky bit, isn't it? 4, 2. So you might practice the fourth finger and the second finger and alternate them. Now we'll join it all up. So now let's think about the bowing in this line again. So we're going to play the fourth line again, and this time I want you to spot where I'm playing the quavers, because they will alternate like before between the upper and lower half of the bow. So bar 13, here we go, and now let's carry on with bar 17. So in bar 17 you see the C natural. Now that is not strictly necessary there to write the C natural there. It's just a gentle reminder for you to say, look, you've played the C sharp in the bar before, so now we're back to our key signature on the C natural. So let's do the whole of bar 17 and 18, 19, 20, the line, and then all the way through to the end. 1, 2, 3. And in bar 21 and 22 you will have noticed we finished on the third finger in bar 21, and then I'm leaving that finger down so that you can then find the fourth finger from there. So if I play you bar 21, this finger you want to leave down and measure out a space away for the fourth finger from there. Alright, so now we've got all the way through, and let's join it all up now. We're going to go from the beginning and we'll play both repeats. So we're putting the whole piece together. 1, 2, 3. No here. Well done. I am in awe of you playing such a long piece. Very well done. Now that you know how to play this piece, I would like you to practice it as much as you can so that all the techniques will become embedded in your brain and in your muscles. If your arms are tired, give them a good swing to relax the muscles of your arms and your shoulder and your neck. And this is a fairly long piece to play in the early days of your violin journey. However, this is how you build stamina and how you progress. So today has been a fairly long lesson, but in lesson 20 we will be taking things a little bit easier and we'll be going back to some earlier pieces and perfect these a bit further. I can't wait to see you there. Good luck with your practice and please subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.